Good morning, dear participants. Today we are on the second day of our ICSSR ERC sponsored national seminar on transforming education and empowering entrepreneurs, NEP 2020's impact on vocational and conventional learning in India. And all of you know that this seminar has been organized by Department of Commerce, Internship and Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Savalamman, Banwarilal Bhalotia College, Asansol. So here, myself, Dr. Amolendu Sawanto, Assistant Professor of Department of Commerce, is welcoming you. And we have with us Mr. Obir Chakraborty, who is the librarian of BBCollege, and he will act as the chairperson of today's seminar, which means this online presentation will be chaired by him. So now I invite Suraj Sharma to please start your presentation after giving a brief introduction of you. Please start.
Morning. Good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
All right, sir. Good morning, sir. I am Suraj Sharma, Assistant Professor, Institute of Leadership, Entrepreneurship and Development, Kolkata. Today I am.
Mr. Sharma, can I request you to on your video?
Yeah, sure, sir.
If there is no technical glitches, you please start your video, because this presentation is being recorded. Okay.
All right, sir. Yeah, am I visible, sir?
Yes. Well visible.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. I am Suraj Sharma, Assistant Professor, Institute of Leadership, Entrepreneurship and Development, Kolkata. Today I am here to give my presentation with my co-author, Ms. Nyasha Patro, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Technology, Institute of Leadership, Entrepreneurship and Development, Kolkata. So, and Dr. Nilanjan Rai, Head of the Department, Institute of Leadership, Entrepreneurship and Development. Today we are going to give our presentation on the paper titled Role of Cultural Tourism for Promoting Women Empowerment in Sustainable Development Growth, Evidence from India. So, as we know that the cultural tourism refers to the subset of the tourism which mainly focuses upon experiencing the cultural aspect of any destination, which means that uh, people usually tend to visit a place, or they tend to select their destination based upon for in order to experience the cultural aspects of any particular destination. So in our study, we have selected our destination as the Shantiniketan state of West Bengal, district of West Bengal, in order to understand that what is the impact of the various environmental factors in the cultural tourism in the Shantiniketan area upon the perception of the people residing, uh, which we call as the local host community. So our main aim in this paper was to understand that how does women empowerment will affect the cultural tourism, as we have as in the various literature it has been seen that the women empowerment is significantly affected the tourism sector and all other sectors. So our main curiosity under the study was how does the women empowerment may significantly affect the cultural tourism. So beforehand, we have been conducting the literature review upon how the women empowerment will affect the tourism sector, or how does it affect the environmental and public planning and infrastructural factors upon of any area. And then we have seek to understand that how these environmental factors in hand affect the perception of the uh, improvement of of the cultural tourism in the Shantiniketan district. So we have taken a two-way process, that is we have tried to understand the uh, relationship of the women empowerment and the environmental factors with the help of our theoretical base, and empirically we have understood the factors of cultural tourism, that how these environmental factors influence the cultural tourism in the Shantiniketan area. So this is the basic conceptual framework of our study, that how women empowerment is impacting the environment, public and infrastructural planning, and how these in turn will promote the cultural tourism. So going down with the evidence for the, we have conducted a brief literature review, and these were some of the literature we have came across, that which reveals that the environment and infrastructural planning are basically positively influenced as the women empowerment increases. So our literature shows that the as the more women empowerment increases, as the more the women empowerment is high, the environmental planning, in public planning, and infrastructure planning will be automatically improving, as we have found evidences from China, sub-Saharan countries, etc. So, coming down to the empirical part of our study, we have made a structured questionnaire of around 20 to 30 questions, and the questionnaire was and the survey was taken out in the Shantiniketan district from various tourists and the local community itself. And the survey was carried out during the period 22-23, and we have conveniently taken the survey of 100 respondents, and then conducted the factor analysis, which revealed the three factors: environment, public, and infrastructural planning. And these were the constituents of these factors. And we, after forming the factors, we formed the hypothesis of the study that the environmental, public, and infrastructural planning shall positively influence the perception of cultural tourism in the host community of the Shantiniketan area. So our study revealed that the environmental, public, and infrastructural planning positively influence the perception of the promotion of cultural tourism in Shantiniketan. Therefore, we have aimed to understand the effect of women empowerment on cultural tourism with an indirect relationship with the help of environment, public, and infrastructural planning. So, as we can see that this is the one of the major limitation of our study, that there is no empirical part in establishing the relationship between the women empowerment and the environmental, public, and infrastructural planning. So, we are planning to do the further research, which shall provide the empirical evidence upon the relationship of women empowerment on the environmental, infrastructural, and public planning, which shall complete the whole framework. And these limitations can be fulfilled in the further research in order to establish the relationship between the women empowerment and the promotion of cultural tourism. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Suraj.
Yeah,
Now, coming to the participants, if anyone any question, please from the participants.
Yeah, I have one question.
yeah, sure,
Uh,
sir.
I want to ask Mr. Sharma, means, do you have any particular policy recommendation to our government to improve the situation?
Sir, we have various particular. We have came across some of the policy formations as per the relationship between the environmental factors
No,
and the
actually,
infrastructural.
I'm not telling about the policies that government has already adopted and which you have come across. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you that based on your observations, based on your literature review for your studies, do you
Mhm.
want to make any other policy recommendation to government to improve the situation?
So, as per our study, first things first, if we talk about the impact of women empowerment on the cultural tourism, as we can see that our study was simply an theoretical attempt to understand the impact of women empowerment on cultural tourism. So unless and until, sir, it is empirically proven that it has a direct impact, I believe, sir, no such policy recommendation can be still coming down to the place right.
I think Mr. Sharma got disconnected due to technical glitches. Okay. Then thank you, Mr. Sharma, once again. But Mr. Sharma has joined from another device. Miss Niyasa Patro, she is here. She is also the co-author of the paper. So if you kindly put some insight on the issue, so please join with us.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, Miss Patro, we can hear you. You are audible.
Okay. Sir, good afternoon. Sir, as my co-author, okay, I think Suraj Sharma sir is there. Okay, sir.
He is writing that.
Yes. I think,
Okay,
yes.
meantime, you may continue.
Okay. So, as Suraj Sharma has mentioned, since we are doing this on a theoretical based background, so no empirical task has been done, so it is very difficult to predict some policies on based on that what measurement should be taken on that. So as such, no policies we have made so far, but as we have some limitation in our studies, in future we are thinking of working on that, and we will try to limit this.
Actually, Ms. Sharma, what I should tell you that whatever be the mode of the studies, be it theoretical or be it empirical, must have some outcomes of your study. Means based on these studies, our government frames the policy. So if as a researcher, you do not suggest something to the government to improve the situation, then the paper, it's okay, it's good for presentation, but then the paper will lose its practical importance. And in new educational policy, actually we are conducting this seminar for that purpose also. We want to integrate our theoretical understanding to practical applications. So that is why I would suggest you that in your future studies, as you have already told me, promised me that you will do it, you should make some recommendations so that something will come to the government and government will consider those issues, and after that if government implements and if the situation gets improved, overall the society will be benefited. Thank you.
Sure,
Thank
sir.
you.
We will incorporate this. A very thoughtful suggestion, sir. We will definitely incorporate this in our future studies. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, Chairperson sir.
Next participants, Swarnendu Das.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, audible.
You are audible.
Please start your presentation.
Hello, sir. Good morning. I am Swarnendu Das, and I am an undergraduate student from ILIT, Kolkata. I am pursuing BBA General, and I'm just presenting my paper, sir. Is my paper visible, sir?
It's visible. It's visible. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. So, sir, this is my paper. Like, it is titled, "Do Academic Institutions Assist in Inculcating Entrepreneurial Skills Among Students?" The first thing I'd like to say that entrepreneurial skills are those skills that are normally associated with being an entrepreneur. Like, although anyone can develop them, but being an entrepreneur usually means that starting and building your own successful business. But people with entrepreneurial skills can thrive within the larger organizations too. So this is a study with evidence from West Bengal, India. The main objectives of the study is to first analyze whether specialization in entrepreneurship, that is BBA in entrepreneurship, is offered in the academic course curriculum or not. And also to analyze the impact of skill development courses on the generation of new startups. So, sir, this is the methodology of our study. Both private as well as public institutions are taken into account, and convenience sampling is used. So primary data is collected from 5 students, each from 66 institutions. That is 5% of total 1317. Sir, I'm coming to this calculation later on. And using purposive sampling, we have divided the total of 66 institutions into 33 private and 33 public. So, sir, this is the way we have calculated that the total number of public institutions, that is colleges as well as in universities, account up to 94. Private institutions, colleges and universities account up to 1221. And there are 2 deemed universities. So the total is 1317. And we have used convenience sampling to consider 5% of this 1317. So that is 66, sir. So, sir, the result of the study that we have obtained is that, first of all, the BBA in entrepreneurship that is offered in both public and private colleges accounts up to 42% in the public colleges and 82% in the private colleges. The next is that number of students pursuing skill development courses in both public and private institutions. Now, skill development courses are basically soft skills, professional communication. So all these courses are already present in the course curriculum, up to 91% in the private institutions and 43% in the public institutions. Now, figure 1.3 that shows that the number of institutions using collaborative learning techniques for skill development. So let me say you, the 5 elements of collaborative learning is like positive interdependence, individual accountability, promotive interaction, social skills, and group processing. So all these are combined, and then students are taught how to handle a business and to have their own startups. So that accounts up to 95% in the private institutions and 53% in the public institutions. So number of academic institutions having an incubation cell. Now, the incubation cell nurtures technology ventures through their startup phase by providing all the support necessary to help entrepreneurs establish themselves before they can scale up their ventures. So private institutions have nearly 98%, 98% of the private institutions have incubation cells, whereas only 57% of the public institutions have tie-ups with incubation cells. And let me say you, this is just a fact that there are nearly 3,000 startups in West Bengal, while near about 2,000 are tech startups, and they are mostly from the private bodies. Figure 1.5 states that number of successful incubators associated with private and public academic institutions. Now, these incubators or accelerators, there are mainly 3 broad categories, not categories, I'll say that 3 basic incubators that are IIM Calcutta Innovation Park, Seeders, and Total Start. And all these 3 incubators are associated with mostly private institutions rather than public institutions. And the number of startups generated from the skill development courses and incubation cells, that accounts up to 88% in the private institutions and 63% in the public institutions. So these are the observations of the study that I have already explained through the graph, that 42% of the public and 82% of the private institutions have BBA in entrepreneurship. 91% of the private and 43% of the public have skill development courses. 98% of the private and 57% of the public academic institutions have incubation cells, basically seeders. And 88% of the private, 67% of the public institutions have successful startups from skill development courses. And most of the private institutions have embedded skill development classes, whereas public institutions have tie-up with VTCs. VTCs are vocational training courses. And the initiatives that are taken by both public and academic institutions, like government initiatives like Swayam and Swayamprabha. Now, this Swayam and Swayamprabha are basically, there are 40 DTH channels that are telecasted over the TV, and from there students can learn about entrepreneurship, but they don't have direct tie-up with the colleges. And there are also other short-term courses that are introduced by the government to the public colleges. Now, this study is not to demean any mode of education, but it is just a comparative study that which type of institution has a better inclination towards the development of entrepreneurship skills in students. And from the entire study, these are some of the recommendations that I think so this could be formulated. Like, public colleges must include skill development classes like professional communication, soft skills, along with the graduation degree from the students are pursuing. Like, this should be embedded within the course. And like tie up with vocational training centers, that is all right, but students that already have the skill development classes as a tie up with their course, they can perform better. And maintaining an incubation cell in public colleges campuses within the campus should be made mandatory for fostering entrepreneurial growth. So thank you. That was all.
Thank you, Swarnendu. It was nice reading about all these things. And
Thanks.
just for my understanding, You
Definitely,
have compared data from public institutions and private institutions.
Yes, sir.
So the number of private institution, you had something like 1,200, and
17, yes.
public institutions something like what, 60?
Yes, sir. 66. Some
67,
67, yes.
66. So, and then just to understand, have you with your sampling method, have you sort of normalized the data that, for example, for every 100 public institutions, you have to
Yes.
equate it, because the data which you are comparing, you are showing that the public has got less, private has got more.
Yes,
About
sir.
this, people are utilized. It's nothing bad or demeaning or anything. You have
Yes,
to sort of normalize. Is it normalized? Some of
Yes,
the
sir, it is.
institutions which you have done. Say, for
Yes, sir.
example, for every 50 private institutions and every 50 public institutions, we have so many ICT skills and technology laboratory in private institutes and so many in public institutes.
Yes, sir.
Is the data calculated accordingly, scaled like that?
Yes, sir. It is calculated accordingly, sir.
That is according to every 100 institutions, or like how many institutions are you comparing?
So, according, like 50 institutions, sir.
50 institutions you are
Yes, sir.
comparing.
Yes, sir.
Basically, just you're scaling this down, the private data down, and sort of scale. Maybe you don't need
50,
to
sir.
scale this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so, what is your first recommendation for public institutions?
So for public institutions,
your recommendation for private institutions, the problems which faced by private institutions.
yes, sir.
Public institutions, I understand, but in private institution, what is the problem? And what is your recommendation for public institution?
So first, I'll go with my recommendation with the public institutions.
Right.
So as far as I know, as far as I've figured it out, like public institutions, they have mostly tie-ups with the vocational training courses. Like students are made aware that, okay, there exist such and such courses. So interested students can go there and pursue whatever you you really want. Now, there are a very handful of students who really are keen about this subject, and they go. But if the course is already embedded in the course curriculum, suppose say BBA in entrepreneurship or any course curriculum, then it will be mandatory for the students to at least learn about those subjects. Sir, entrepreneurship is not about developing any company. It is about developing new ideas, sir. If you develop, sir, 100 ideas, out of that, at least one will definitely work. So, sir, if this thing is made mandatory, then students will get a scope to think more. So this is my recommendation. And sir, in case of private institutions, sir, instead of following a corporate life, like going for placements after graduation, they should ask the incubator cells, like a group of friends, maybe they want to start up a company. They should have that initiative that, okay, we want to start something new. So this should be the thing for private institutions, sir.
But I think private institutions face much more because of problem of funding, because they need to have more students so that they can fund their plans.
Exactly, sir.
Yes. And for
Exactly,
that,
sir.
you need to have more students inside.
Yes, sir.
To have more students who are paying. So
Yes, sir.
And to get for them, so for having more students, you have to really highlight more placement.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, how do they find the way out?
So
how can you strike a balance? Because
Sir,
you have to survive, you need students. You have to show your performance. Just by saying that we do so much, nobody's going to spend their money. You have to have some data in your hand.
So I haven't thought about this presently, but sir, definitely I'll work on it. Sir.
Okay, definitely.
And another thing, Swarnendu, I want to mention,
Yes,
that
sir.
in private institutions, majority of the students come with the expectation that I will get placement after completing my courses.
Yes, sir.
So nobody is seriously interested in nurturing their entrepreneurial skills in incubation centers, or nobody wants to be an entrepreneur, because basically they have target to get a placement there. So how will you motivate the students? Instead of getting the jobs, they should start their startups.
They should have quality knowledge, quality conception.
That is also a problem.
So first, I think so. I should say them that first, business is nothing. First, create a problem and then sell a solution for that problem. So I'll motivate them. Okay, go for ideas, look around, find out problems, and then okay, fine, go join a job. get enough capital or get recognition, get a platform, and after that you can slowly start. It's not that business.
That is really a good suggestion.
That's a good suggestion.
That if you tell them to continue in industry for 3 to 4 years so that they get experience, and if after they start their own business, that will be better. It is really a
Definitely,
good
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, Chairman.
Next participant, Deepayan Singh. Please start your presentation.
Good morning, sir. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible. Yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, are my slides visible, sir? Sir?
Yes, this is okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, my topic is named as Prospects of Sharing Economy on Education Sector in Light of New Education Policy. What we here focus on is how sharing economy is being connected with the new economic policy 2020. Is that we know that sharing economy is an economic system in which assets and services are shared among peers. The economy provides opportunities to utilize the idle assets, and a mechanism is supported by the use of internet. So the most popular sharing economy concepts that we are aware of are Airbnb, Zipcar, Ola Uber, ride sharing, Udemy, Coursera, YouTube, crowdfunding, workspace sharing, and so on. While the new economic policy aims to make an education universally accessible from primary to secondary level, there are few similarities that we can notice in sharing economy and new economic policy 2020, which emphasizes on collaboration and inclusivity. The new economic policy aims to create an inclusive and collaborative education system that caters the need of diverse learner, emphasizing access to quality education for all. Whereas the sharing economy also has the principle of sharing resources and assets among
Deepayan, your
Yes, sir.
slides are not moving.
Slides are not moving, sir.
Now it's moving.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, there are a few similarities that we need to focus on, which include collaboration and inclusivity, utilization of resources. Few resources are being underutilized, which can be reused or recycled through the use of sharing economy. And the same concept is carried forward to NEP, which advocates the use of resources and infrastructure which are already held idle. As sir, I am from Bongobashi Morning College, and I see a 3-shift college in which Bongobashi morning exists, day exists, and evening also exists, where the infrastructure is actually being used 3 times throughout the day, and multiple number of students are being benefited from a single organization, a single infrastructure. While, sir, the next step that we can identify is the integration of technology, as we are all aware of that the technology can reach masses through a single platform, and NEP also focuses on utilizing technology and making education more accessible. And sir, both are community-driven approach through which a large section of community can benefit from this NEP, which integrates technology with education. So the paper focuses on acknowledging the concepts of sharing economy in education through implementation of new education policy, to inquire the fitness of digital infrastructure, that how capable India is right now to digitally accept the technology in education, and to understand the current scenario of online digital learning platforms. Sir, are my slides moving, sir?
It's moving. It's moving.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, the concept is the study is actually a conceptual understanding of the potentials of sharing economy and incorporation of online and digital methods in the NEP 2020. While due to limitations of time, a detailed study could not be conducted, but still a few areas have been highlighted through which we can understand the digital empowerment of India. But before that, we need to focus on the educational expenditure that has been for the past 7 to 8 years, which is collected from the economic survey of 2022 and 23, in which it represents that almost around 2.8% to 2.9% of the GDP are being spent on education, whereas of the total expenditure, only 9 to 10% is being spent, which is consistent throughout the years. And the government needs to focus on improving this sector and increasing the budget for education. While on the other hand, the digital infrastructure to promote education via sharing is that India is already on a digital urge through which it has launched a Digital India program in 2015. The BharatNet connects over 250,000 Gram Panchayat remote and rural areas. National Optical Fiber Network initiates parts of village connecting through optical fiber. 5G readiness. India is already 5G ready to adopt the 5G technology. Common service centers have been used to educate, literate, and use the bill payments, the expenditure made through online modes. Digital payment initiatives have been taken through UPI. E-governance initiatives through DigiLocker, e-sign, e-hospital, e-courts have been made, especially during the COVID period. National Knowledge Network is a high-speed network to connect the educational and research institution across the country to enhance collaboration and access knowledge to resources. This is specifically, sir, made for knowledge sharing and the promotion of digital literacy through Diksha, through Swayam, through other platforms through which digital literacy is being provided. And coming to the use of technology and its integration, the NEP 2020 mentions about National Education Technology Forum, which is actually established but is not currently functional or operational, which will ensure equality or equity in access to quality education, enabling thriving education ecosystem, ensuring mobility in education, and leverage and integration of emerging technologies. As well as the Diksha or Swayam platforms are being developed in an increasing rate to enable the Indian students and encourage them in online learning. While the NEP 2020 also mentions about the AI's disruptive potential at workspace, and the use of AI or the curriculum inclusion will help the future generation. And on the other hand, online and digital education, ensuring equitable use of technology. This is also mentioned in the NEP 2020, where pilot studies for online education are being conducted by NETF, CIET, NIOS, IGNU, IGNU, IITs, NITs. A digital infrastructure side by side is being created. Online teaching platforms and tools are being used like Swayam and Diksha. Content creation, digital repository, and dissemination are being used, addressing the digital divide. The major problem that we face in India is the digital divide, which is actually how few people are enabled with technology and computers, and the most of the section is not enabled with technology, which can be creating a gap to the education system online. Training and incentive for the teachers, online assessment and examination, as well as Parak, the website that uses, which is under CBSE's, NCERT's guidance. and using blended modes of learning and laying down standards through the NEP 2020. These are few, so this table represents how Diksha is sharing education through the online platform, which is being used by students to cater their primary and secondary education. These are the name of 10 states that have the most learning sessions, which includes Karnataka at 7.82 million learning sessions, Uttar Pradesh at 5.19 million learning sessions. So these are actually based on few videos, video learnings, PDFs, documents, which help students and learners to study online. While Swayam is also a platform which actually enhances or provides extracurricular benefits to students who are interested in different learning programs. These are some data of 2023, which represents that almost around 3 crore 54 lakh students have been enrolled, and the exams have been conducted for 5,43,987 students, and certificates have been received by 3,35,112 students. This is actually the name of 34 channels that are active under the Swayam Prabha initiative of the government. And this chart represents that how the online education market can see its bright potential. This is collected from Statistia Market Insights, which represents the current and future scenario of Indian online education market. While to conclude the paper, sir, I would recommend that the NEP has already included internet and its technological benefits to implement on education. Digital infrastructure of India is at a promising stage to adopt sharing through Diksha, Swayam, Swayam Prabha, National Technology Education Forum, and AI integration. While these all are being conducted and these all are being implemented at a slow speed, but rapidly evolving at a global landscape. To meet the global scenario, India also will need a dynamic and a digital infrastructure to support the education system. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Deepan. Now I would like to a question to
Yes,
you.
sir.
So what is the main problem regarding the implementation of digital infrastructure in the country like India?
Sir, the main problem is the digital divide. Most of India is actually rural India, which only have access to a mobile phone, and thanks to Jio that people are actually enjoying internet on their phone. If we are, sir, able and capable, we can obviously learn, we can all obviously try to learn from internet, sir. I don't personally think that we are restricted to internet nowadays. We can actually learn from YouTube, we can actually learn from Swayam Prabha, we can actually learn from Swayam platform if we use the internet in a correct manner, sir. And there is a problem that people still do not have digital, there is a problem of actually digital divide, through which poor section of India is still facing the problem that they do not have internet technologies or a mobile phone or a computer to connect to internet.
So what are the suggestion for the implementing such digital infrastructure in India?
Sir, Government of India is already implementing digital infrastructure through BharatNet.
Personal opinion.
Sir,
How
I
it is?
would like to add something to this, that which I came to know about very recently, that the government of West Bengal is also implementing a thing called educational hub, which will include colleges, schools, which have infrastructure but do not have student, will be sharing infrastructure and students among institutions, which is a good initiative from my point of view. And internet is always the bigger picture where people will be able to visualize everything from home, from a device. You do not actually need a physical infrastructure. The cost of the education will reduce drastically. Implementation will go high. People will be benefited if they are used properly, sir.
I have just one question.
Yes, sir.
Regarding creativity and digitalization.
Yes,
So
sir.
it is, we are trying using technology. It has got lots of benefits. We are without any doubt. We need to improve it, and it has to stay. We are using AI.
Yes, sir.
Tremendous amount of AI is being used. Tremendous amount of. But one thing which I'm seeing, which I personally, when I'm writing papers or things, there are some AI based softwares like Quillbot.
Yes, sir. Quillbot, sir.
So what happens is, previously I used to just write it whenever the reviewer used to say that please write this part in a different manner, or please include this. The first thing was that I used to think, and then I used to give time, think about it more, and then I used to make a thing. But right now, a few days, a reviewer told me just to expand this part. This is a bit too short. We need it. I just put it in Quillbot, expand, and immediately I copied and pasted it.
Yes, sir.
And then
Yes,
sometimes when I'm feeling tired, I simply copy from the internet, put it in Quillbot, paraphrase it, put it in a different tone, voice, and then paste it. The same thing is pasted over. So in a way, I'm destroying my creativity, something which I could have done much better. I'm doing it. I'm producing more papers now, but the quality is going down. My creativity is going down. And now, if somebody is telling me to write it, I feel very. I don't feel like doing it.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, AI will
How can you
create.
counter this?
I cannot counter this, sir. This is actually a fact that is happening right now. It is happening to you, sir. That means it is happening to very of the
For students, it's
researchers.
Wonderful. Projects can
Yes,
be
sir.
done.
Yes, sir.
through
It
Quillbot
is actually wonderful thing.
ChatGPT and ChatGPT put it, write a note on this particular thing. I wanted a note on this. ChatGPT is giving you a precise format and a note that you're copying and pasting it in your own language.
I cannot defend it, sir. I cannot defend it. It is actually true. But what I think is that if a technology is coming and knocking at the door, we will have to adopt it, sir. Or else we will lag
But
behind.
then we have to also take some precautions. For example, atom bomb. It's nuclear energy is wonderful. It's giving a lot of things, but at the same time, it can destroy you.
Yes, sir.
And
Now,
we are
if
bringing something to increase our productivity. At the same time, we are putting
Now I can say that
Yes, sir.
artificial intelligence will act as a Frankenstein.
It's
Yes,
a
sir.
nuclear bomb.
Yes,
It's
sir.
breaking. My creativity of the human race is lost.
Human is lost.
For
Is
example,
getting lost.
all the students are with social media, with Facebook, WhatsApp. They're the whole day. They are not thinking, reading books. They're not thinking. They're not bringing out new ideas. In the medicine industry, in 1970, the last medicine was discovered. Still, the same thing. It's marketed in a different name, either this name or that name.
Yes, sir.
Nothing new is being made. No.
And I think in this regard, you like the researchers like you should be cautious, and you should try to frame some suggestions.
No, sir. Sir,
How to do
my
it.
I have no idea.
my paper is not on AI, sir. I am not focusing on AI. I am focusing-
Digitalization.
Means
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not saying that-
Digitalization.
I'm not saying that you should frame the policies or you should frame the modalities how to prevent that particular thing, but you should raise the issue in your paper that this is the problem.
And how you will give suggestion how to
Definitely.
come
And
out
then
of
the
this.
people from other discipline will think about this, and I
Okay,
think
sir.
definitely suggestion will come out.
I'll
মানে
definitely note
আমাকে
this.
সাজেশন দেবে যে আমি এই যে বাজে ব্যাপারে পড়ছি এইটাতে না পড়ি। হ্যাঁ,
আচ্ছা।
এই বলবে না যে এখন হিমালয় গিয়ে তপস্যা করুন তারপর আর মাথা ঠিক করে আসুন।
না, 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 না। একদম, স্যার।
থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। থ্যাংক ইউ
Thank
ভেরি
you,
মাচ।
sir. Thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। কি রিপোর্ট করেছিস? Okay,
Now what were appropriate, sir?
And I think another two participants who were supposed to join, they haven't joined. Babu, yes or no?
No,
They haven't
they are not
joined.
joined.
So since Till now, they haven't joined. Maybe they are not interested in presenting, or due to technical glitches, they are not ready to join right now. So now we are concluding our session. And before concluding the session, Arnab sir will give some reporters report.
I must really thank Mr. Sharma. First, immediately, Surat Sharma. He had started with cultural tourism, and that was something very interesting. A bit first part I missed a lot, but it's a very controversial topic actually, and I like some perspectives from there, and how to sustain development in how it helps in sustainable development. One must really think about it. A few days back, we are having a problem with Maldives and Lakshadweep. We are having a problem. PM Modi went to promote tourism over here, and Maldives got angry. So culturally rich Indians, they are prone for Maldives. All in advertisement, it's going over there. So we are our movies, they show Seychelles and Maldives, Mauritius. All these are the places to go in the island. Lakshadweep is good. So this is something which is coming new. Second is Tirtha Yatra, Ram Mandir. Now in Ayodhya, they are trying to make that so many pilgrims are about to come. So they are going to make a homestay facilities. So they are encouraging the citizens over there to essentially open their homes for pilgrims, so that they can have a homestay support and they can go and visit, do their pilgrimage. This is one way you can promote some, you can boost your economy with this, and this is going to be a sustainable model. Then, of course, in West Bengal, during, during Basanta Utsav in Shantiniketan, it becomes a huge thing. In another 4 or 5 days, you are going to face the same with Gangasagar Mela. So these are all cultural tourisms. I feel they are examples which can be maintained, sustained. You have to just make things better for pilgrims who are coming. So this is one aspect. And then Swarnendu, of course, like yesterday, today his talk had a good comparison between public and private institutions. And that was essentially quite a thing. And he also mentioned some aspects by which private companies can improve, and public companies can also, public institutions can also improve. The main difference is in public institutions, although we have a timeline, our timeline is not that very strong. But in a private institution, you need to show the results extremely. For your survival, you need to show the results. For us, for our improvement, we need to show our results. It's not that today, if I don't show results, my job will be gone. But in private institutions, it's gone. So through hook and crook, you have to show something, you have to fake something, you have to make something. Because I worked in a private institute in Chem Biotech, I did research over there. So maybe I spend a bit more money on that. Here, our money is in public institution, our money is restricted. We can't use that. But in public, private institution, maybe they will spend 1.5 times more, but they would need the results then and there. So for that, you have to plan accordingly. That next year, I would like to have so many students. I've been given a target. You have to have so many students over there. Do whatever you want, eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want. You just get me those students. Simple for your survival. It is quite logical on one hand.
Thank you, sir.
The third, of course, Deepayan has also done wonderfully the digital divide. He had mentioned about the digital divide which we have, and some ways by which the government is improving. At the same time, we must also think about how not to get over digitized also. Everything digital, that's not good, because it's a paradigm shift. We are going from chalk and talk to PowerPoint presentation. It's a paradigm shift. We have to accept it. But we must still take some benefit of our classical ways also. This is where, so in all, it has been all the three presenters, they have given a overwhelming and a wonderful session. And I'm really, we are really very privileged, and we feel very happy. And I'm feeling very wonderful that this has come to a nice success. Thank you very much. And I would like to thank all the organizers, the presenters, everybody, those who have come, those who have not come still, thank you very much for not coming and reading. That's also a benefit. I have to stay less. Okay, thank you very much.
Now I thank you everyone, and we are concluding this session. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
ওখানে দেখে আছি কি চলে রেকর্ডিংটা বন্ধ করবো না